Hey YouTube, Login Negates here, coming at you with a deck profile. Now, this is my Call the Haunted Agents that I've been playing for the past couple of weeks, and I really like this deck. It's been running great, it's very consistent, and I've been doing pretty well with it. I plan on bringing it to some tournaments soon. So, let's get right into it. I've got pretty much the boss monsters here. The three Master Hyperions. This card is really amazing, really good, and I mean, even though you only have 5 agents to actually use to get into him, he's a lot easier to get out than you think. I mean, with all the milling that we're going to be doing in this deck, and Call the Haunted, you can get him out pretty easily. And to back him up, we got Archlord Crissia, 2 of them. Especially when you have all these fairy monsters, you can get this guy out really easy. And when he drops, that's a huge game changer. Because once he hits, nothing can special summon, period. And at 2800 attack, nothing pretty much gets over him. It causes your opponent to use a power card on him, like Dark Hole, something like that. We've got a BLS. Even though we don't have that many dark targets in this deck with all the milling and whatnot, you can go into them pretty easily. The Searcher of the deck, we've got 2 Earth. It'd be awesome if it was at 3, but no complaining. 2 is good. But this guy, you drop him and you search the Venus so that you can get your Shine Balls out and make some gotcha plays, big plays. We have the 3 Venus. Venus is awesome. Pay 500 life points and special summon one of these Shine Balls right here. That's an easy first turn gotcha, and you start out with a 2000 beater on the field pretty much. 2 Card Troopers, just for that extra draw power and the extra milling that you're going to want to do when you're looking to get the Chrysias out. And it combos really well with Call of the Haunted. Like if someone were to MST your set Call of the Haunted, you could chain, bring back Card Trooper in attack mode, and then it'll resolve, and MST will destroy the Call of the Haunted so that your Card Trooper will be destroyed and you can draw a card off of it. It works the same way with Sangan, if you were to do that with Sangan too. Obviously the 3 Shine Ball to get out gotcha, those rank 2 monsters that this deck loves so much. Um, Herald of Orange Light, I run 3 of these, this guy right here. He's really good. He's like the Effect Veiler of fairies, but in my opinion, he's better. You pretty much pitch him to the graveyard. Any effect that activates, whether it be in the graveyard or anywhere in the hand, you can pitch this guy to the graveyard with another fairy, and he'll negate and destroy the card. This card even negates hand traps like Honest. It'll negate Honest, Trigodia, Maxi, Effect Veiler. It'll negate all of those. We've got Honest here. Um, this guy's He's, I don't think he needs any explanations. Sangan for the searching. Tour guides, because this deck does run a good amount of rank 3, so you're going to want to splash these tour guides, not only for tour guides, but they're dark targets too for your BLS. And 3 Thunder Kings here. Thunder King is just a great overall card in my opinion. It's very anti-meta, and it stops a lot of the decks nowadays. I mean, it does have some bad matchups, but most of the time you're going to see that you're going to have a good matchup with using Thunder Kings. And this is my own little tech here, the 2 Trigodias, because I've found that not a lot of people run Trigodias in the Call of the Haunted Agents build, but I see it kind of very useful because you have a lot of small monsters in this deck that are usually going to sit on the field and not do anything. So you want to be able to drop something big while building up your card advantage. Like for Card Trooper, for example, if you have a Card Trooper on the field, at the end of your phase, or at your end phase, it goes back to 400. So almost everything can get over that. So you're going to want something to back it up. And plus you get to draw off of Card Trooper, so it'll just make Trigodia even bigger. And same thing with Venus. If you have a Venus, you're going to want to drop something so that you're not worrying about protection. I run 3 MST. 3 MST is great, especially in this format, because it's really back row heavy, and MST loves a big back row. The staples, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Monster Reborn, and onto the traps, we've got 3 Call of the Haunteds. This card is awesome in this deck. There's so many combo possibilities with this card. You just gotta pretty much find them. Like, for example, you can, if your opponent activates something like Reinforcement of the Army or Gladiator Proving Grounds, something that adds to the hand, you could chain Call the Haunted to it and bring back your Thunder King so that it negates their search card. So they just wasted a card. And has a lot of other good combos. Like I was saying earlier, if they MST the set Call the Haunted, you can chain and bring back your Card Trooper or Sangan so that you can search or draw an extra card off of their MST. But yeah, the main point of the Call of the Haunted is so that if you're milling with the card troopers and whatnot, and you have a big monster in your graveyard like Christia or Hyperion, or even BLS if you've already summoned it, you can just activate Call of the Haunted and get your big monster back. It's really good. Then we've got 2 Solemn Warnings here just for more protection, so that once your opponent drops their big monster, you have some sort of answer for it. And then the same thing with the 2 Torrentials, just for more protection, like if they want to swarm, which a lot of decks do nowadays, Chaos Dragons, Wind-Ups, stuff like that, you're gonna wanna have an easy out. Now onto the side deck. Run 2 Maxis, just for heavy special summon decks like Wind-Ups and whatnot. I actually have been testing these Raikos, and they're really good. I run 2 of them. Not only can you destroy 1 card on the field when it's flipped, it's also a light monster, so it can interact with Honest, and it mills 3 when it destroys so that you can keep milling for the Call the Haunted. And it's a level 2, so you can go into more rank 2s with it if you have an extra Shine Ball to get out with Venus, something like that. Soul Taker just for annoying decks that have big monsters that I can't really get over, that I need a little out to it. Nobleman of Crossout, really good against Gyrias, because you're going to want to get rid of that armor really quick. So this card's really good out to that. Dust Tornadoes, just for heavy back row decks, you're going to want to get rid of it. On top of the 2 MSTs, you can side these in. I like them against Rabbit, they're really good. Other decks that run a lot of back row, they're really good. 2 Gozen Match, just because you run so many light monsters, and this is pretty much the card to use if you're going against Wind-Ups, because it'll hurt them a lot more than it hurts you. I mean, you have the Card Trooper, which is Earth, and the Trigodias and Tour Guides and all the dark targets, but it'll hurt your opponent more in the end if they're playing Wind-Ups, because you have a lot more light targets to, or a lot of light monsters to deal with. 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors. This card is really good against a lot of the decks now. Dark Worlds, just pretty much destroys them. Insectors, it's good against them. And yeah, pretty much shuts them down. It's a good out, because this deck can't really run Defissure or Macro on the side because it hurts it too much. You kind of need your graveyard in this deck. And another personal tech, I like the Royal Decrees. Now, people told me that I shouldn't run Royal Decree just because of the Call of the Haunted, because it stays on the field, but I like Royal Decree because, I mean, if you can play around it, it's really good, and it'll end up hurting your opponent even more. Because there's a few times where I've gotten a combo where I have Call of the Haunted and Royal Decree both set, and my opponent Heavy Storms, and I chain the Royal Decree to it, and they don't have a response to that, and then I chain the Call of the Haunted. So Call of the Haunted, it chains backwards, so Call of the Haunted activates. You get your big monster back, then Royal Decree activates, negating Call of the Haunted, and then Heavy Storm blows up the field. Or blows up the back row. Now since Royal Decree and Call of the Haunted were destroyed simultaneously, then your monster will still stay on the field because Call of the Haunted's effect was negated by Royal Decree. It's a nice little combo, and if you manage to get it off, it's really good. The extra deck, it's pretty standard for the most part, but I'll show you. Dark Mist, really good against problem cards that you can't really get over, but he'll get over pretty much everything. 2 Gotchis, I like 2 Gotchis. Most people play 1, but with this deck I see a lot more possibilities to get rank 2s out, so I actually get 2 Gotchis on the field a lot more than you would think, and it's really good in numbers, let me tell you. The one Daigusto Phoenix, just because you can OTK your opponent, it's really good. Zen mains for protection, Tempo for Zen mains and Gachi Gachi problem cards like that. Acid Golem, Leviar. Leviar is really good in this deck. You can get off multiple Hyperion plays if you're stuck and you only have one target for Hyperion and you're holding maybe two. You can go into Leviar with your tour guide or whatever you have and banish for Master Hyperion, special summon the Hyperion. And then use Leviar's effect to get the target back and then banish for the other Hyperion. It's really, really good. A Leviathan for another 3-star beater. And then onto the Synchros, I have an Armory Arm. He's really easy to go into in this deck. Catastor, Gaia, Black Rose Dragon, Stardust, and Scrap Dragon. I mean, I pretty much have one of each possible level to go into. And I added in the Scrap Dragon because it's a good out card. If you don't have any other way to win, you could go Scrap Dragon, and he helps a lot. Well, thank you for watching. This is my first ever video, so thank you for watching, and I'd appreciate it if you would like, comment, and subscribe, and get ready for more content coming soon.